Hey guys, how are you doing? Welcome to the video. Today I'm doing something a little bit different, which is a review for this VR attachment. Now, as many of you probably already know, I do like myself a good bit of VR, and I play Beat Saber quite a little bit. Got reasonably good at it, I think, if I'm not blowing my own trumpet too much. But there's one thing, just one thing, that I really wanted, and you'll have seen it in a previous video if you've been around here for any length of time, where I tried to do a Darth Maul kind of mode. There is now a mod which does this kind of for you, but of course it's not really easy wielding two controllers at once in that kind of way, and taping them to a stick is also not ideal. So I finally got in touch with the developer of the ProSaberVR, which is the gun attachment you may have seen in some of the VR videos, except for mine because I haven't gone and got one of those yet. So today we're going to take a look at my latest purchase from ProSaberVR.com. Now these guys sell a bunch of products, not just the gun stocks that you may have seen in various different designs for Windows Mixed Reality, HTC Vive and Oculus Rift, and various other attachments to improve, change or customize your particular choice of ProSaber. This is ProSaberVR, which just literally lets you have two of your controllers fastened together in a way that allows you to use this Darth Maul mod for Beat Saber really well. Now guys, I didn't get this sent for free, but I did get a little bit of a discount for doing a review, but I genuinely bought it myself. But I'd still like you to consider it kind of a sponsored video because of the discount. As you guys know, I always like to give you full disclosure, so it's not a case of somewhere down the line someone goes, oh, he actually got 15% off that, so therefore he's making a positive video because he was almost paid to do so. Nothing like that, guys. I'll always be straight up with you when it comes to any review like this, whether I got something for free, bought it myself, got a discount, got some other kind of perk. I will always let you know. But anyway, rambling, on to the actual review. Now the first thing I want to say is, wow, this thing looks amazing. Even if you don't know what it does, I went for the carbon fiber design, which just looks absolutely stunning. You can get it in different colors. You can get it in the cheaper standard plastic design and other metal designs. So there's pretty much something for everybody if you want a particular color or a particular design. It's incredibly light, that's the other thing, and the build quality is amazing. And it's also perfectly balanced. So I think we can consider this thing Thanos approved. The overall build quality is very good. It's very straightforward to set up, which we'll get to in a second. But my favorite thing that I've noticed, even though I've had the controllers in and out of it a few times, is it's not actually damaging the controllers. It's not left any scratches, scuffs, or anything like that, which was pretty much one of my main worries. I was like, well, it's gonna rough it up, isn't it? Sliding these in and sliding them out. Because you do have to push them in quite fast so that they're gripped in and then pass through. So pretty straightforwardly, although this is going to be slightly different in my case because I have some aftermarket little loop tethers on the ends of mine. What you would normally do with the normal HTC Vive sort of cable, if you will, let's just call it a cable, you would pass that little cable through the cup and out the other side, and then also wrap it round the controller. What I have to do is slightly different because this big chunky bit of plastic, this big latch, will not allow me to actually do that. So if you're using an aftermarket one, you may have to do like what I did and do it this way, where you push the Vive controller into the cup as far as you can. Don't overdo it, of course. I tend to find that just all the way down to about the E of the Vive logo, which is just like halfway up the E. This comment section is going to be filled with E memes, isn't it? But yes, about halfway up the E, that seems to work perfectly fine, and then I can wrap the cable around the controller down to the ProSaber itself, and then I can tighten the latch, and it's gripped in, it's going nowhere. Even if it somehow did manage to shoot out, it's still wrapped and fastened to the actual ProSaber. So safety first, of course. You don't want one of these flying out at top speed and hitting a wall, or a person, or a cat. And with what I was saying about the cup holders, as it were, not scratching your controllers, is it seems to have been kind of milled on the inside. So it's difficult to describe, but it's like a very, very fine series of lines. It looks like it's been sort of milled around the inside. So I assume that's some way of it gripping without actually scratching and without causing too much friction. I don't know how it works and how it's not scratching the controllers, but it's impressive and it works really well. It also comes with a little Allen key so you can change the angle of where your controllers sit as well. For what purpose? I don't really know. I suppose it allows you to align them perfectly to your pleasing, or possibly to make some crazy angles to do different things, a different challenge perhaps, or maybe something for a different game. Because I would assume you could kind of use it for almost anything. If you want to be a bit more involved, have a bit of weight to the controller, you could always fasten it like this and use it in like a sword fighting game, for example. Just spitballing. They probably don't encourage you to do that kind of thing, but it's just an idea off the top of my head right now, where it could feel as though the controller at the end is adding a bit of weight, so it kind of feels more sword-like, so it could actually enhance the immersion a little bit there. Possibly, just an idea. And now, guys, we'll have a moment of silence from me as I show you some mixed reality gameplay footage of Beat Saber with the Darth Maul mod with this particular ProTube. So hopefully, as you can see from the end of that video, it works really, really well. And this is also the first time, by the way, that I'm recording in 60 FPS, because I've slightly upgraded, or technically I've downgraded. I've gone from a professional camcorder that couldn't do 60 FPS to actually a GoPro. Just a little GoPro, but it can do 60 FPS in 4K and 2.7K. All that good stuff, so the quality is better, rather than having all my videos that are in mixed reality at 25 FPS, which just doesn't look very good half the time. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it from me. The only other final comment I would have is these things are a little bit pricey, especially the things like the ProTube VR, the big gun stock. Even the very, very base model is quite expensive, but what you're getting is something very, very well built. I mean, this is... If you look at these cups, for example, not only the milling, it's a solid plastic. It's not some cheap, tacky Chinese crap that you've bought off AliExpress or anything like that. It's really good quality. And while you could probably make it yourself, you would need a 3D printer and some knowledge of working with plastics and metals and whatnot. You could probably make one yourself. But this, if you don't have the time, you don't have the knowledge, you have the money, it's definitely worth doing. I will get a lot of use out of this while using the Darth Maul mod. So I hope that was helpful for somebody, or entertaining for someone else. Don't forget to subscribe if you've come across my channel from this review, that would be much appreciated. Do check out their website in the link in the description down below and see what the options are if you're interested in any of these. At some point I may do a review of the ProTube, the gun stock, and see how that affects some of the shooting games and such, because I think that's probably the one that most people are interested in, but I wanted to start off from here, see how this was, before moving on to anything more complex. Again guys, thank you for watching, see you next time.